Welcome back everyone, this is episode 2 of my No Suit Survival series. Main goal is to get to Mars, and I have no spacesuit, so that's going to be an interesting adventure. It's very cold right now on Triton, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself a little scout vessel, maybe a motorbike or something, to go and prospect around for some ore nodes. I'm really looking for some magnesium, as the only ammo I have right now is these 6 bullets in my gun. So we're in a very precarious spot right now, and I'm going to build some tools first. I do have some silver, so I can build some upgraded tools, and then I'm going to build myself a little rover type thing, I reckon. Go to production, tools. I'm going to get a level 2 grinder, drill, and welder on the go. Get rid of these. Turn the assembler on. We should hopefully have enough. Okay, not enough power, so I'll just turn the engine on then. There we go. I believe that hydrogen engine has plenty of fuel in it. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's get these tools. There we go. I can throw away these old ones. I'll just chuck them in the cargo container. There we are. Got plenty of food and water. Put them on my hotbar. There we go. So, how much material do I currently have? I have not a lot of iron, decent amount. One thing I've thought of while in the interim of these episodes is this base doesn't have a battery on it currently. So I'm just going to add one in here, I reckon. Like this. Put that so we can see it charging. I need some power cells. So we'll put them into production. Should have more than enough resources for that. Let's put too many batteries in. Let's put that in. There we go. So while that's being produced, I'm going to come out here and get some steel plates so I can start building something. I might need some interior. I've got interior plates, girders. That should be okay. But, what's missing? I've got silicon, nickel, and iron. And I think we're missing silicon by the looks of it. And nickel. Yeah. So I'm going to go mine some nickel from the nickel mine over there. Ooh, a bit of lag there. And I'm also going to mine up some stone, because I don't currently have a silicon node nearby. So I'll be back once that's done. Okay. I've come back and it appears we have enough to produce this battery. There we go. So that'll start charging up on my wind turbines just over time. And while the engine's going, it should be draining a lot faster because it's at its full output now. I might actually build a little mining drone just to harvest up some stone for the time being, although no, I think I'm going to build a scout ship first. That'll be my best bet, and then find a silicon deposit. I was thinking of just building a drone to go and mine a whole bunch of stone, and that way I would be able to build silicon just from the stone itself, but I think it'll be a bit easier just to go for a node And I'll just use the stone right now just to build a little scout vessel. So I'll need some way to connect that to the base, and I'll probably need to put a large cargo container on here as well. So maybe I will put a cargo container on this port here and have some way of connecting a little scout ship to this connecting point here, which raise it up a little bit so it's not flipping into the ground, but the cargo container can flip into the ground no problem. That'll fit down there, something like that. Then I'll need a conveyor on this side, and I'll probably attach it via a rotor. Might need a full-size connector. Let's go with... Actually, if it's not using a cargo port, I don't even need a conveyor. I can just make it out of a little frame. Perhaps something like this. And then... yeah, I'll go here. Put a rotor on like this. And I'll remove this tip here. We can add a small attachment head. And then lock that rotor in position so it's not rotating around. And then we can build up here. Have a little connector point for my ship, or whatever I'm intending to build here. Let's go down one more. That's going to be interesting to do that with. Let's see if I can bring it in closer. Is that able to work? But normally I would just hop in jetpack and rotate around, but placing stuff underneath is going to be a bit tricky. See if I can attach it to the grid. Yep. Ah, well, whatever. I'm just going to go with that height and hopefully that will work. So let's go with a rotor here. And then we will set that one to lock. Now we've got to build up these. So, really, yeah, I'll build the head on the little rover. So we only really need to build that part and the cargo container. That should be easy enough to produce. Yeah, I've got more than enough cobalt for a full container. I just need more nickel and iron. I think I've got enough iron in the refinery. Yeah, I've got more than enough iron. I've got some nickel here as well. That should be, yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so we'll let that build up. The engine will probably need some fuel, I would imagine. Yeah, okay, so let's go get some more ice for the hydrogen engine. Unfortunately this mod has some weird hair clipping issues when you have the drill out specifically. As you can see there, it just runs in front of my eyes, so, you know, there's the somewhat realism of having hair on your head. But if you have no tools out, it's not really a problem. I'll try to avoid doing that as much as possible, because I imagine that would be quite annoying on a viewing end, which is pretty amusing. So let's just go grab some ice here real quick. I'll be able to store up a whole bunch of ice in that large cargo container as well, so I won't have to do as many trips. Let's go find the cargo port of the hydrogen engines. O2H2G. Let's go there. Turn that on. There we are. The hydrogen engine is now still charging its battery. We'll just keep that going. So it's going to need a few trips of ice to fully recharge the battery. I don't think the refinery and the assembler can run off of just 2 turbines, so I will leave it at that. Now let's see if we can build this rotor part here. First, yeah, no problem. And the other components I've got for this cargo container. I really want a fast skimmer type vehicle because the ground around here is relatively flat. So I'll be able to find some ore nodes pretty easily and get to these unknown signals. So we'll build it off of here. So I'm going to need a landing gear just to build off of. I'm thinking of a 2-wide vehicle here. Something like this. Well, I will actually make this higher because I'm planning on placing wheels in a pretty interesting way on this one, in a sort of unconventional way, and that'll need to be up quite high, so I might need to build a little scaffold around here as well, just so I can climb up and around on this. Something like that. Yeah, there we go, and then I can hop onto it, no problem. So we'll just build like this. That should be more than high enough. I'm going to go with the wheels, suspension. I need 1x1. Let's go with the off-roads. I haven't used these much, so it'll be interesting to try them out. That's the left, and then I need a right. I suppose I could just use this one, couldn't I? Right and left. So we want the 1x1s. And I'm thinking of placing them sort of like this. I might actually place them around this way so that the wheel is on the front. And this is on the left, so like that. So then the next one will be the right. Want the wheel suspension on the right. 1x1. And it should place, no, the other way around. Okay, so that one goes there, and then this one is the other way around. And I've chopped off the other one. Great. Okay, rotate that. There we are. Left should be fine. Nope. Okay. Oh, this is just a great big mess of wheels, isn't it? Where's it? There we go. One in left. God. I'm not having a good day of placing these today, huh? Around that way. There we go. That should be about long enough for what I'm designing. See if we have all the parts for this cargo container. Yep, excellent. Now I'm not going to need to worry about space for a long while. I will maybe paint this eventually at some point. It's a bit uninteresting to look at for the time being. I'm just going to go grab some power as we're running a bit low on that, and then I'm going to continue filling up on ice. So I'm just going to mine a whole bunch of ice and stone for the time being, and then I'll finish off this little bike. So I'll get back to you when I'm working on the bike again. Okay, we've collected up a bunch of stone and ice. This battery should be well on the way to being fully charged. The weather has cleared up nicely, and we can get back to work on this skimmer. Now the reason I chose to do it too wide, I know going for the taboo even again, but it's because of one of the new cockpits, the new Rover cockpit, I believe, or the buggy cockpit. We could do one or the other, as these are actually too wide. I'm going to go with the buggy cockpit, and to make that look the best, I'm going to need to probably place it down one block. Assume it has attachment points on the front and back. So I'm going to need to pull out some of my gear here. So I need some steel plates, some interior plate, and some food and water. And let's see how we go. Has this got connection points? Oh, it does. Excellent. Okay, so to do this best, I'm going to need to move this out of the way. So I'm just going to have a little arm that's going to hook this up to the back here. So then I'll have a lot more building freedom, and I can chop this here and here. And I'm planning on trimming that, so I'm going to need to have it attached to the front as well. So I'm going to put this little buggy cockpit sort of in the middle here. So I should, oh, that's going to be hard to hop onto, I should be able to trim these middle blocks without it all coming apart. It's attached on both sides, yeah, that'll work. So the buggy cockpit is... buggy or Rover? I think this is probably... It's got a lower visual profile, so I think this one will look slightly better. It's still got, yeah, it's got attachment points. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to put it in this space here, so I need to chop out those 6 blocks there. Be careful not to cut off the important ones. There we go. Let's put it in like this. So then I need some power sources on here. Maybe I'll just convert these back blocks here into small batteries, and then I can have a rotor attachment on either the sides or the back. And it should be able to hook up into that rotor on the side, which I might need to make a little bit higher, because this is going to be quite tall actually, isn't it? I'm going to need some power sources, a couple gyroscopes to keep it stable, and some thrusters to move it around. So I'm going to put 6 batteries in here, small batteries here. Careful not to trim that. There we are. And we'll just put some batteries in here. Place them, yeah, like that, so that that danger high voltage is showing on the outside. That'll look nice. There we are. So then we've got them. We need some gyroscopes, an ore detector, and some thrusters, maybe one. Let's see how well it slides around. So we'll need 2 gyroscopes, probably like this and this. Gonna need an ore detector. A light, that's a good idea as well. I need to put one on there. All of it's sticking up behind the cockpit, I reckon. Something like that. I can place that properly. There we are. That's what we want. And then I'll put 2 thrusters on it, I reckon. I can just rip these off of the old survival pod. Let's go with sci-fi and place them like that. Then I can put maybe an antenna in here to complete the look. So let's go and grab these off of here. There we are. Just check that this is running. Yep, that's all good. I don't want to make the mistake of doing stuff and then not be recording. God, that would be a major frustration. Might need to get an external hard drive as these files are getting quite large, so I'm going to need 6 small batteries. Put them into production, see how many we can pull out. Shouldn't take too much to build them. We got most of the parts, yeah, I just need power cells and computers really. Oh, now what have we got here? We don't need that. We need a buggy cockpit. A rover cockpit, I should say. Just quickly produce those. There we go. We're going to need 2 gyroscopes, ore detector, these wheels here. Put them all into production. How much is this going to cost? Ah, no problem. So we make that easy peasy. Then we will pull these parts out and we'll build them in the order that we assigned them. I need to make some large steel tubes. I don't think I've built any of them yet. That'll be a bit of a bottleneck for constructing these.
Energy low.
Tecticom, yeah. It's hopefully not going to tip on itself, but we'll see. I have high hopes. I've tested this sort of thing before and it can be a bit wonky. I might actually need an extra gyroscope just to keep it even more stable, so that might be a good spot for that. Hopefully it'll be able to slow down decently enough, but we'll see. I'll make sure to put some controls on here that monitor the friction of the wheels so that I'll be able to control it that way. Because normally it'll be driving around with no friction at all. Just to slide along the ground as efficiently as possible. Hopefully with the new wheel update it's not going to spontaneously combust on me like Rovers have done in the past.
Energy low.
Ore detector. There we go. Complete these armor blocks. And then all that's left are these little wheels. So produce them while I go and recharge. And then we'll see how we go with this preliminary design. I'll probably just put a rotor part on either side. It'll make it easier to park it as well. Actually no, it needs to be the rotor on this one, doesn't it? So then I have the attaching and detaching control on the vehicle itself. Right, so I'm going to need to pull this off and attach a rotor part to the base instead. Because the rotor needs to go on here. So a good spot for that. Where would that be? I'll just do these wheels first while I think of it. Go. Now let's make sure that these wheels aren't going to be controlled. So we want thrusters, gyroscopes, but no wheel control. Oh. I don't think the brake is going to work in this design, so we'll see how we go. Let's put the rotor in here. One on either side, I reckon. Something like that. It'll need to come out a bit, otherwise that's going to cause some problems, I imagine. Put some half blocks. Like this, I reckon. Just to give this body a bit more heartiness to it. Give it a bit of something just to flop onto if the worst case scenario happens. And then we'll put a rotor on either side like this. And then get rid of these parts. There we go. Need that one and that one. Reduce these last 4 plates. There we go. And we'll build this up. And that should be more or less everything we need. We'll need to set it up first and then I'll chop it off of its little support here and see how we go. Here we are. So I'm gonna add an extra gyroscope on there just for the sake of safety. There we go. Let's get a little gyroscope on the go. And here. It's done. There we are. Right. So I'm going to have 2 gyroscopes on override on to keep the balance. And then that one will be available for control. This ore detector is fine. I am using the expanded ore detection range mod just because it can be very frustrating if you've got a decent enough computer and you don't really need to worry about it searching through a small or a large amount of voxels. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need a group for the rotors. We'll have docking rotors, so I can put them both on my hotbar. The other thing, I'll need the wheels. I'm going to call this maybe like an ice skate, so we'll go with the skate wheels. So we can turn this friction up and down on the hotbar. Friction, increase and decrease. So hopefully I'll be able to control my speed a bit with this friction. I'll turn that friction down to nothing, so it'll slide around. Then we need the rotors. I'm going to have attach and detach. Ore detector's good. Plenty of power. So it should be good to go for the time being. So let's just chop off this whole thing and see if it sits nice and stable. There we are. Looks like it's just going to slide away from me. Yeah, should be fairly stable. So what happens if I turn the other gyroscope off of override? Do I get them? Oh god, that's very quick. That's got some good control on there, but I'm going to turn those down just a little bit. So this one is the overridden one. These are giving me my control. Let's turn them down to about 75. 0.75. There we go, that's a little better. We should just be able to slide around nice and easy like that, and when we want to stop, just turn the friction up and we'll come to a halt. Excellent. Okay. Let's do some drive testing here. Now that we've got it all working. I think it should be able to go quite quickly, fairly safely. I don't want to go too fast. Oh, magnesium right there, perfect. Just increase it. Oh god. That stops in some very interesting ways. I'm going to probably need to put a reversing thruster on that. So we've got silicon and magnesium right here. That's perfect. That's basically all I needed. I can put that. Perfect. So let's dig down and get some of these. I definitely need the magnesium. So I do like the skate. Very fast and effective, but it definitely is a little difficult to control. So I think I'm going to put a reversing thruster on it just in case, because it appears that stopping with the friction turning up just makes it bounce into the air like crazy. Let's go down to this magnesium. So I really need to get a new weapon with some more bullets and I feel a lot more safe. So right now I don't really have a weapon at all. So there's the magnesium. We'll dig over here so we can see the silicon as well. There we go, that's perfect. So I'm going to grab up, say, half of an inventory of silicon. That much. Make sure I drop off the stone, because I don't need that anymore, really. And then we'll get the rest of magnesium. There we go, lovely. Let's see if we can climb back out of this hole in the ground. Ooh, there we go, perfect. So let's try head back to base without blowing ourselves up. Which I think might be a little tricky. I wonder if I can... I wish you could toggle the amount of thrust you put out. I don't want to go too fast. We've got to turn the friction down to 0. There we go. Get sliding. There we are. Lovely. And we can just ease our way back into the base. I think attaching it to the rotor part on the side of the base might be the tricky bit, especially with how little control I have with lining it up. But we'll see how we go. Might be necessary to put some sort of connector on it. This is going quite well. I very much enjoyed this. So let's turn the friction up and then just line ourselves up and ease our way into that rotor. Hopefully we don't run out of power before we get there, or have any of the wheels pop. Let's see if that's at the right height. Ooh. It's not quite right. I can attach it to a piston. Oh, it's so close, isn't it? Okay. So I'm just going to hop out here, and then I'll put this stuff into refine. Quickly get rid of that. Do some silicon and some magnesium. Now I've got magnesium, I'm going to produce myself a new weapon. Let's try out some of the stuff from the new warfare pack. How about a precision rifle? That sounds like a decent choice. So we'll need that, and then we'll need some clips of the precision rifle ammo. Say 10. And then we'll get that working. Excellent. So let's get that into our character. Precision rifle and ammo for it. Gun, I'll just swap these for the time being. I'll keep that in my back pocket just in case. I can put that onto my toolbar. There we are. Got a new weapon. Oh, it makes an absolutely lovely noise, doesn't it? Only holds 8 bullets though, so got to be careful with how we use ammo there. Although that is producing a lot, so I can just make a whole bunch of clips for that, and no problem. Really. Let's go like 50, that should be plenty. Yeah, no problem making that. So, if anything comes near me, I'll be ready for them now. Now, to get this to line up properly, I'm going to need to change this setup around a little bit. With a piston. Let's go down like this. And then a block. Just do it like this so it looks a little nicer, neater. And then got piston part. And we'll weld all of these up. So we need a piston. And let's build this up while we're at it, just to make it a little bit more secure. Set that to build. Grab these, which can fit in my inventory, no problem. And that, and that, so just tubes. So we'll do these tubes first. We'll do the bullets last. There we go. That should be most of everything I need for these. Yeah, lovely. And we'll just finish off that rotor part and that top piston part. If I can reach that. There we go, top piston part, perfect. Put them into production. We'll do them first. And withdraw that. Oh, out of iron by the looks of it. Let's see how we go. It's mostly done. And that'll do for the time being. So what we need to do is we need to bring this down just a smidge. Right there. So hopefully that should work and we'll be able to line that up. So this would be a time for a reverse thruster really, because as it is I'm going to have to... Oh, I could probably just wiggle it back. Aha, genius. I'll wiggle it to the side. Oh, it's not going... Oh, definitely not going the right way. So let's wiggle it back and then line it up a little bit better. This is definitely the most interesting docking procedure I've ever seen. Let's go forward a bit. Line that up. Should be able to, yep, just clip through that. Here we go. So, first things first, I am going to blueprint this just in case this explodes in a terrible, miserable ball of fire. I'm going to call this the ice skate for the time being. Make a blueprint of that. Perfect. Let's see if connecting makes it explode or not. Oh, there we are, perfect. So now we are docked, and our batteries can recharge. So we'll need to make a battery group here. Put that on the toolbar to recharge on and off. Okay. Now those batteries can start filling up from our base. We definitely needed to do that because those were just about out of power almost entirely. Interesting, okay. So we found our silicon and magnesium, and we've got this. I'm going to add an extra little support structure here just to make it look a little neater. About something with a little bit more of an angle to it, perhaps. One of these corner pieces should do the trick. Yeah. Give that a little bit more of a connection point, so it's a little bit safer. And then we can chop this off. There we go, that looks a lot nicer. Excellent. Now we can also go after these unknown signals as well now that we've got a vehicle. Let's see. So the next step will probably be to build a little mining drone, perhaps, something that can automatically go and get these resources for me while I run around and pick up these unknown signals for a bit. I've still got plenty of food and water for the time being. Oh, actually, where is this station? That's a good idea. How far away is that? Because we can do some economy stuff as well. Let's go find that. Is that in space or is it on the planet? That appears to be not on my HUD yet. Where is it? Active, there we go. It is on the planet by the looks of it. So we should be able to reach that fairly easily, because most of Triton is these flat oceany areas that are frozen over, interspersed with these hills. So we'll see. See if there's any interest for one or the other, but I'll probably end up doing both in the near future. I think I'll call that for the second episode. So thank you everyone who tuned in for that, and I hope to see you next time.